Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red, yellow, black, and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the children of the world. The fruit of the Spirit has a coconut. Fruit of the Spirit has a coconut. You want to be a coconut? Well, you might as well hear. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit because it has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit has a banana. The fruit of the Spirit has a banana. You want to be a banana? Well, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit because it has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit has a kiwi. The fruit of the Spirit has a kiwi. You want to be a kiwi? Well, you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit because it has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. It has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Hey guys, hey friends, I'm back. It's Miss April. Hi, it's so good to see you guys. Hugs, air kisses. I'm so excited to see you guys. Oh. Today I have a new lesson for you guys, but before we get into our new lesson, we're gonna review. Let's talk about what we learned from last week from Miss Catherine. Oh, she's such a wonderful teacher. Oh. Hi, Miss Catherine. You did such an awesome job last week. So last week, Miss Catherine taught us that Nicodemus was a Pharisee and he was really important and he knew all about Jesus and the Bible and God. But Nicodemus had mixed some pretty big lesson. And the one lesson that he had missed the information about when he was learning is baptism. He didn't know about baptism, what the true message of baptism was. So he had a conversation with Jesus about what that is. So if you missed that lesson, go back and watch it. Miss Catherine was awesome. But okay, so in today's lesson, we are going to learn a lesson from Luke chapter 5. Luke chapter 5. It is the paralyzed man, or Jesus heals the paralyzed man. Right. So our verses are 17 through 26. All right. So in this story, we know at this point in time that Jesus is here and he's doing his thing and he's healing people and he's teaching, and everywhere he goes, the crowds are big. Like, you see my hands? They're big. The crowds are big. They're huge. Everywhere Jesus goes, there's a big crowd. And because everyone wants to hear his teachings. Everyone wants to see Jesus teach. So one day, Jesus went back home and everybody heard that he was there, right? So everywhere he went, the crowds were what? They were big, right? So there was this group of friends who heard that Jesus was back in town and they wanted to hear him speak. But everywhere was like super crowded. So when he got to this one house and they were like, oh, we can go see him at this house, right? So they decided, let's go see him. But the one friend was paralyzed and they wanted their friend to see Jesus so Jesus can heal him. So they decided to carry their friend on a rug all the way to Jesus to see his teaching. But once they got there, it was crowded. It was super crowded. They couldn't even get through the front door. Now, that's a good problem to have. But because they couldn't get through the front door, they were like, oh, we know. Let's go on the roof. Now, Kids, you can't go on the roof, especially without your parents' help. But these were grown-ups. They knew what they were doing. But anywho, they carry their friend up onto the roof, and then they dig the hole in the roof. A hole big enough for the friend to fit through. And then they lowered him down through this hole, right in front of Jesus. They were able to do it without dropping him. And Jesus looked up and he saw them and he's like, oh my goodness, they have a lot of faith. And because Jesus saw their faith, he was able to heal the paralyzed man. He looked at the man and he says, your sins are forgiven. Now, there were some teachers of the law there, Pharisees. And they were like, oh my goodness, who is this guy who says that he can forgive people's sins? You can't do that, right? God's the only person that has authority that can do that. And Jesus heard this and was like, I mean, is it easier for me to just say your sins are forgiven, get up and walk, or should I prove to you? And Jesus decided he was going to prove to them that God had given him the authority to do this, to heal the paralyzed man. So he says to the paralyzed man, stand up and walk, take your mat and walk. So that's what he did. He got up off of his mat and he walked right out the door through the crowd. And everybody was in awe, like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And so they all believed. They believed that Jesus was the Son of God and had the authority to forgive the sins. What a great lesson that is. They had so much faith that they knew that Jesus could do what he said that he could do. They believed Jesus' teachings. So, wasn't that an awesome lesson? Wasn't that an awesome lesson? I think that was an awesome lesson. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson and this miracle. And I would say that if you enjoyed this miracle and you want to learn more about what Jesus did during his time and some of his teachings, then I think you should read another story out of our awesome storybook Bible with your parents. I think this would be cool because we don't only just learn on Sundays, we learn throughout the week too. Maybe we can read a story before bedtime, or we can talk about a story at dinner or breakfast or in the car ride sometime this week with our parents. I know we don't go a whole lot of places because of COVID, but sometimes we can just get in our car and drive around if you just want to drive around. That's fine. Or on the way to the grocery store. That's fine too. Just make sure when you're out, you wear your mask. And yes, sanitize those hands. Well, that's my book. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed your lesson. See ya.